Hello and welcome to another video with Grace's House of Plants. I hope you're all doing well and everyone is staying safe and healthy, and also your plants as well. So today I thought I would do a proper video for this one because it's quite a big thing I wanted to do on camera. So in terms of my plan, I'm planning on propagating a very large variegated monstera, which I've owned for about 6 months now. I'll bring it into the frame now just so you can see it. As you can see, it's in quite a big pot as well. So it's a 6-leaf plant, and it's clearly got like amazing white variegation on it, which I think is fantastic. I'll do a proper video of it in the frame now. But it's like insane sized leaves. And I've been thinking for quite a while whether I wanted to actually propagate it into baby plants or keep it as it is. And I got it from a fantastic seller in the UK, but I just found that actually the roots on it were already quite small, and it's quite large. If you kind of look at like how much space it takes up, it's massive. So I had to keep it in the corner of my room, and where it's in the corner of my room, it just didn't get enough light. And then if I wanted to put it anywhere else, it would just be in the way. It's just not happy. And I think this is where I'm going to step in today, and I'm going to pop it into lots of new cuttings rather than big plant and see how we do with that. Another thing, it's going brown on the edges of the leaves that are at the back, and like even here, this one's at the back too. So I can't give it the best spot, or the spot I wanted to give it, it wasn't right for it. So yeah, look, it's natural for white variegated leaves, especially where they've got quite a lot like that, to go brown, no matter how humid it is or how lit your area is. But it is a fact that as soon as they are in a darker area than you could be giving them, they'll go brown quicker. So with that in mind, let me get straight into it. Having my secateurs would be a good idea. Oh, they're here. Literally all I'm going to do is chop it up, make sure I've got it all in the right spaces, and I will obviously walk you through how I would propagate a monstera. So I'm planning on chopping it here, 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 and here. So I've got an aerial root and a node which I can see on the other side. I'm going to start by taking off the pole, got rid of the pole, and it'll be interesting actually because the last time I looked at these roots below was like 6 or 4 months ago when I first got it, so we will see. Yeah, cool. So this one here, I've got 2 leaves. One of them's got a nice thick petiole with a new leaf inside of that. I'm going to cut it just here underneath the aerial root. Not the biggest root, but there we go. Oh my gosh. That's so sad, but also it's really beautiful. So this will be my cutting for me, because I just feel like I just can't let go of it. I think it's beautiful. I think the variegation on that is just insane. And it's literally like the same size as my head, so yeah. I think I've got a selfie with this on my Instagram. So the end is chopped. We have an aerial root which could have been bigger, but I'm not worried because I think that'll be fine. So I'm going to just put it here by the side of me in the air, resting. On to the next one. So I've got one aerial root here and also one here, which is great because this is probably the biggest leaf just here. And I also have a little node there. Or do I? Right, I'm actually going to make a decision. I'm chopping it here instead of here, so I can properly check that I have a node. Okay, so as you can see, we've got 2 leaves here. And on here, where is it? I can't even find it myself. So this kind of it feels kind of bumpy, and it's like an oval shape, and it almost changes the way that the pattern of the stem is going. That is your node. I'm just trying to find one for this leaf. So actually this is a 2-leaf cutting, not a 1-leaf cutting. I just can't seem to, I don't think I've got one here. I don't know. Safest thing is to keep that as it is, let that callus over, have the roots go into water. That's got really nice big aerial roots, that's gonna be great. And wait and see. Sometimes the node becomes more visible if it's not been there before, it actually pops out a bit more, becomes more visible afterwards. So there's the second one. 2. And these ones, they can all then go under my grow light, which I think is just so much better for the plants, because right now they just have natural light, and as much as that's fine, my window is not south-facing and it's winter, so it's not really getting any light. No wonder they're going brown, the edges. Okay, final bit then. I know for a fact that there's a node right down at the bottom, and I can see one here. So brilliant. I'm going to take this cut just here. Now's the tricky bit because it's fully rooted. So as you can see, the roots have actually got a lot bigger. Now that's pretty cool. So then I probably wouldn't need to propagate these. I would actually just pop them in a pot of their own. Right, the only thing is I need to just do a bit of separating. This is actually surprising. When I had this before, I'm not joking, the roots were, oh my god, like literally like a tennis ball size. Oh my god. Really nice. And then this one's got a lovely node, which is like literally going to come out any day soon. So only thing is I have been watching it coming out, and it's taken 4 months now, so don't know about that. So this is really awesome. This one has just literally been going like that since probably like December, which is awesome. So for those of you who are probably wondering, right, what do I do now? In terms of rooting monsteras, there is so many options, and everybody has their own favourite way. They really do. There's lots of different ways for certain problems that you might have. So maybe it's that you live in like a super warm apartment and it's quite hot, in which case probably best thing to do would be to have just water, or leca, which is the concrete balls that like basically they absorb a bit of water, and it's quite a nice environment for the roots to grow in. That's a great option if you're in quite a warm space that is not very humid. On the other hand, if you're in kind of a colder, maybe more humid house, people often really think that moss works great. And I think, for example, here, moss is great. Moss will always work. But if you are in a hot house, especially in winter, and you've got like the heating on, it's quite dry, you will naturally find you're just going to keep watering that moss all the bloody time, and you're going to get tired of it because it's always going to be dry, and therefore the roots can't really just settle and grow, rather that you're just topping it up with water to keep the roots from going dry. So I mean, check that out. That is a massive root system for 1 leaf. So then there's a node here. I don't know if you can see that actually. See that kind of like discolor area next to my ring finger? Behind, just there. So really, really good. Like, I was not expecting that actually, which is fantastic because that's going to then be its own plant. So there we go. I will just do a little video at the end of how they look once they're all in their pots or in their vases with some water. Like I said, that's the best ways to propagate them from now. Pop them in water, pop them in leca, pop them in moss, whatever your environment suits. But keep the water fresh and keep an eye on them. Keep that end of the stem really protected from rotting. So things like callusing it over, waxing it over, those are going to do the most for you. You will then start to see within a couple of weeks the roots grow little baby white roots, which is fantastic. So you then just have to keep an eye on that. I always say when it gets to about the size of a tennis ball, you can pop it in a little pot, and then you can obviously let it grow in soil or in moss or even in leca for the whole of its life, which it then will become its own plant. So something like that was come from a cutting, a normal monstera, things like that. You can let them grow and they will obviously keep on giving out new leaves for you. So let's just have a little debrief. So we've got one here, and it's just like, what a good thumbnail. Look how good that looks. Let me see if I can get one more in the picture. Yeah, these two. So like I'm literally swamped in them. Love it. It's gonna be its own plants. Away from the dark corner that was in my room that it only could fit in, and instead it will be on my plant shelf with like light on it and actual care that I can give it that's better. So here we are at the final point of the process. All cuttings are in leca or in water. And I'll just do a little close-up of every single one. So I've got 2 leaf cutting here. Put some wax over there to keep that end protected from getting rot. I've tied this here because they are in a super wacky kind of direction. And I've popped it in leca. So this is really beautiful. 2 leaf. And if we go up close. So what I've done on this one is I've left the node kind of sticking out like that, which is quite nice because it means obviously it can just face upwards when it's ready to pop out and start its new leaf. So there it is. Onto the second 2, which both were 2 separate cuttings. So we've got both of them there. And like we said earlier on in the video, it's definitely got browning damage from being in quite a darker area. So it's natural it'll go darker quicker if it's not in a very good space. So here we are. Roots are obviously submerged in leca. Node is right there, and I actually have waxed the end really messily, but at least it will protect it from rotting. That one's really beautiful. This one's really funny in the roots, very like top heavy. As you can see, that node is really ready to pop out with its new leaf, which is really good. A really big root on this one. Literally this whole pot is full of roots. I could do with a bigger pot to be fair, but these were the only ones I had. And again, really nice variegation. This one actually hasn't got any browning on it, which is really good. So that's those 2. And finally, my pride and joy. So this one will be my own cutting, which I will keep and propagate myself and try and do the absolute best. So it's currently sitting in water. It's actually got rainwater, so it's a little bit muddy, but that's okay. No movement yet, but it's only been there for a week. So this one's got probably the most amazing variegation I've ever seen, and that's why it's going to be in my own care. I'm going to look after it and see how well I do. So creamy, it's like pure white. We've got aerial roots sticking out. There's the node, and it's also got a new leaf in this stem here, the one that I'm holding. So there we have it. They're all sitting nicely on their shelf. Nice final update at the end of the big process, and obviously using different types of substrate, so water here and lacquer here. One last thing before I sign off, keep your eyes peeled because one of these cuttings will be the prize to the giveaway I'll be doing at 500 followers. So not long away. Obviously I really appreciate all the support that you guys give me from the plant community, so I will absolutely be doing a giveaway at 500 followers, and you can obviously keep your eyes peeled on my page for that coming over the next few weeks. I thank you so much for watching and staying with me. You will see updates from these guys over the next few weeks on my page, I'm sure, and fingers crossed that they go okay. Stay safe. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.